The Strand, the historical district of Galveston. It's been revived and it's thriving now with shops and restaurants and other places of interest. And the man behind the business that started the revival is still going strong.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars changed hands daily as wholesalers supplied the great part of the Southwest.
The Strand was the financial center of this part of the world from shortly after Texas' emergence as a republic until the early part of the 20th century. Then came the storm of 1900 that devastated the whole island. A crushing blow came just 14 years later when the ship channel opened, making Houston a port and reducing Galveston's importance on that front. The Strand went into a steady decline for more than 50 years until there was very little left but rundown businesses and homeless people on the streets. Along came Bill Fullen, who had come to town with his parents in 1947, just as he was about to enter the second grade. Galveston was a very different place then.
Yeah, there was gambling and slot machines and the Balinese and the Hollywood Dinner Club, and every little beer joint and drugstore in town, hotel as far as that go, had slot machines in it. And I remember on 61st Street when the Rangers came in 1953 or 54 and tore up all the slot machines. I was riding along on my bicycle following me and a bunch of other kids, and they'd throw these slot machines out on the street and hit them with axes, and nickels would fly everywhere, and we had our pockets loaded up with nickels. That was a big happening back in those days.
Bill grew up and went to school here and then went to work.
I was a pipe fitter apprentice for 5 years, and then I went in the laundry and dry cleaning business. And then I bought this old building in about 1972. And that was back when the Strand was just nothing but warehouses down here. In fact, I was the first retail business to get established in recent years on the Strand. I wanted to lease the building to start with, but wasn't anything down here in 1974, so I couldn't get anybody to come down and lease it from me, so I decided, well, heck, I'll just do something myself. So I'd been to Antone's in Houston, and I'd met Mr. Antone, and being imported foods and us being so close to the wars and everything just one block away, well, I felt like the imported food business would probably be a natural for the area, so Mr. Antone helped me, and in fact, I bought all my first merchandise from Mr. Antone, and he was a lot of help to me when I started, and that's sort of how I got the idea for this. Hi, I'm Bill. Fine. When I bought this building in '72, there was only one tenant in it, and his name was Mr. Moreland, and he owned a sign company called Art Sign Company, and he was paying $35 a month rent. That was the entire income on this building in 1972, and he had been here since like 1940. At that time, I didn't have a lot of money to spend, so there was artists. Artists loved the place because it was nobody down here, nobody bothered them. It was cheap rent, and they could do their artwork and, you know, congregate and talk to one another and had a lot in common. So I rented the 8 spaces out upstairs to artists, and I gave them a 5-year lease, and I think I started off like $50 a month rent, and they would do all the improvements themselves. Well, after 5 years at $50 a month, you know, they saved a lot of money on rent. I got the building fixed up, and it all worked out advantageous for all of us. That's how I developed this building.
The Strand has come a long way in just a couple of decades with lots of thriving shops and restaurants, and the Fullen family enterprises have been in the forefront of the growth. Billy runs the water wall. Bill Sr. drew up the plans for it, and he and Billy did all the work.
See you later. My nephew built that sign for us.
Son Brad and his wife Rocio have the Mexican food place. Rocio's from Veracruz, where her family has a travel agency, among other things.
They had a hotel in Veracruz, and she had managed a restaurant for her father for about 5 years, so she knows the restaurant business, and that's why I bought this building and built a Mexican restaurant for them to run after they got married.
Bill's little nephew Baxter, whose family lives up the road in Dickinson, is very proud of his uncle's achievement.
Well, he's helped for Mardi Gras and Dickens on the Strand. And he's worked on Alyssa. And that's all I can think of.
The hub of Bill Fullen's operations is still the old Strand Emporium. A deli complete with meats and cheeses and Bluebell ice cream and lots more. It's a place with a kind of flavor that has made the entire Strand such a hit with visitors to the island.
This used to be an old vault.
And as the Strand continues to grow, Bill Fullen will no doubt have a hand in it.
We just put modern...
At least as one of the historic district's biggest boosters. The Emporium is open almost all the time. It's in the historic Strand district in Galveston. And Galveston is south of Houston along the coast. That's this week's edition of the Eyes of Texas. I'm Ron Stone. Thanks for joining us, and we hope you have yourself a...
Right, the low 75. Tomorrow, we will call for mostly sunny skies. Isolated daytime thunder showers, and the high around 94 or 95.